bitch, I'm in the...
Oh, we're live.
Mark, it didn't happen. Did it
It
happen?
didn't happen.
Are we live on? Are we live on Instagram?
Oh my God,
It
man!
didn't work, did it?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a second.
I can't tell.
While we're doing that, while you're doing that, or I'm doing this, whatever. You sit there and talk. What's your best?
To myself?
Yeah, to yourself.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian. With me, as always, is that handsome devil right there.
I'm Mark.
Yes, you are.
No, it didn't work.
We're talking shit, and we are talking shit today. Are we not live on Insta?
No, I'll fix it.
I don't know. I hit the button. I did exactly what you told me to do. It didn't fucking work. So
yeah. You're live. It says. Oh.
I don't know. There's a check mark up there on my side.
Hey, check this out. Somebody who hasn't been in our chat in a while.
Jinx, what's going on? Fantastic.
Wow.
Good to see you.
So we had this whole thing planned out, and now we're going to do a different way. Brian showed me a great band on TikTok one day. I'm like, okay, I got to look more into them. And then I don't think it was even a minute later, I said, okay, Brian, get them. Because for some reason, bands seem to love to talk with Brian. They don't talk with me. Any which way, everybody else talks with me, just not fans. We played their music. We played their music last week, and we were curious on their name. And well, the good thing is at least we found out their name. And see, Brian,
how to say it properly.
And it's right. Ohkaya.
There you go. You did it. Holy shit, Mark.
Yes, I wrote it down. Actually, I put a space in between it, so that's how I remembered it. So we're going to bring AJ on the screen from Ohkaya. See, I said it again. So be grateful I can say it twice.
You're 2 for 2, buddy.
Yeah, surprising. We're going to bring AJ on the screen.
AJ, what's happening, man? How are you?
What up?
All right. So before we get started, boys, real quick, today is December 18th. It is my daughter's birthday. Michaela is 22 today. So I just wanted to wish my daughter, if you guys would help me do that, wish my daughter a happy 22nd birthday. I'd greatly appreciate it.
Holy shit.
Happy birthday. Did you say it's Kayla?
Kayla, yeah.
Kayla, happy birthday. 22 is awesome.
Sorry.
You're dad's looking right now. I don't feel bad.
I already told her happy birthday, so that's all she gets out of me. I forgot my middle child, or Liberty, is only 5 months older than. Yeah.
You forgot that she was 22?
No, I knew my daughter was 22. I forgot how old your daughter was.
Thanks, Jinx. Thanks, Jinx, for that. So AJ,
hey, check
first
that
time
out.
doing a podcast is what I hear.
Well, I should preface, this is my first time being on video for a podcast. I did a podcast for a good friend, but a guy I'm also colleagues with through professional work. His name's Jason, and he has a podcast on Spotify called Rock Fan Radio. That's really, really cool. So we did that back in May. So I've done that before, but first time on video. Yeah.
It's the same thing. I mean, people just get to see your smiling face. That's really it. You're gonna have some stalkers now at some point, I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding. I hope not.
Brian,
so don't blame.
He doesn't want you.
Happen.
Hey, he doesn't want you stalking his ass.
Right. Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. I already stalked the band, dude. I love the band. I love the band. I listen to the music. It's fantastic. This kid's got some chops on him. If you haven't listened to him, so AJ does a lot of not just his own stuff that you guys work on, right? But you have done Crossfade. You have done music from who else?
If you're talking, I know why you're saying crossfade for cold. That's Breaking Benjamin. If you're talking about the cover that we did.
Oh,
It's
Breaking
called
Benjamin.
Cold.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Breaking Benjamin. So you've done a lot of covers too. Is that right? Take Me to Church.
Yeah,
that song is
that was
hard.
the first one you showed me. That was the one that you showed me. Like, oh, dude. So
Yeah, that
then
song's hard. It goes.
and then you told me, and then you told me about the other two. You said, hey, look, they got two original songs, so go listen to them.
Yeah. The covers is candidly, it's more of a marketing play. I love every song that I cover, but I mean, at our core and kind of like where everything was started is to be original. But you can't get away if you're wanting to like at least get good at songwriting. You're gonna learn other songs, and that like singing Breaking Benjamin in the car for years is like how I learned how to sing. And it just, I'll talk about John a lot tonight. John, who's the other half of Ohkaya, moved in with him, and we pretty much, us living together, tried some stuff out with, and again, there's the whole background of like the band I can talk about, but we ended up doing the Breath cover. That's our first one that we did. And John is a monster mixing engineer and producer overall. And he ended up just doing it like, out of charity, putting, me and a guitarist together. And what ended up kind of coming was from nothing we expected. It was literally to test out some video and audio stuff. And then we put it on YouTube and it just like took off. And so then it's like, all right, well, doing covers is fun. While we're, releasing music, let's go ahead and keep doing covers. And I've been fortunate to work with super amazing musicians to where all I've had to do is really sing. And then like any of the stuff I am playing guitar in is pretty basic. So it's just been easy, kind of doing stuff like that for fun.
But you are a guitarist as well. Or are you novice at it, or are you just starting out with the guitar?
I love that you're asking, because like even 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, I would say I'm pretty poor, but I literally, while John's been on tour, which I was telling you guys a bit, before the show, I've practiced hours every day, and I'm at the point I would say I'm a guitar player. I can play. I've learned 5-6 songs in a single day. That is the right way to play them. That's not just bar chording, up and down the fret. So, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm good, but I'd say I'm a guitar player at this point.
Right
for
on.
sure. Yeah.
Good deal. So what got you into just doing the music anyway? I know you said just riding in the car, listening to Breaking Benjamin, stuff like that was really where you got started. How old were you, and who were you riding with, that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Do you want like I can kind of give you a full synopsis, or do you just want like the basic where we're at now?
Whatever you want to talk about, AJ. Like I said, it's just a conversation, man.
Cool. Yeah. I'll go back. I don't know. I was like 8 or 9, and I idolized Van Halen. Was like my first influence from my dad showing me YouTube videos of like Eruption, and so I thought I was going to be a guitarist when I was like a real young kid. So I idolized Van Halen a ton, and from that grew into like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, a lot more of the grunge stuff. This is all when I'm like 9, 10, 11. And when I was, I think like 11, I started a band in like 4th grade, and it was like with kids I was on the bus, riding the bus with, and we just loved music. I've loved music ever since I've been little. So I would do stuff like that. There was a time when I was in 6th grade, I did like a boy band kind of thing. It was me and a really good singer, and good, I haven't talked to him in a while, but really cool dude named Colin Bridges, a good friend of mine. And we were singing Grenade by Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, Cody Simpson. It was like not rock at all. It was all like pop stuff. And I think that was, candidly, because we just, we were trying to live, like Justin Bieber was at his prime when, we were 12. So doing stuff like that, I've always just loved the idea of like doing music for, my life. And then I ended up, when I was in 8th grade, joining the football team. And that pretty much for the next, 9 years took the forefront. I was just so dedicated, and where music was, it's either been music or football. I've just revolved my life around it. And when I was, like a freshman, sophomore, junior in high school, I was pretty much battling and or starting and or getting benched at playing quarterback. So my life just revolved around, trying to be, varsity quarterback and wanting to go to college and play football and then wanting to be a football coach. And then what ended up happening is I graduated. I had an amazing time playing football. It was, I wouldn't change anything, but I definitely, I should have realized when I got done training, for the third time in a day football and I'm like drained, I was listening to music the whole time. And then I'm in the shower and I'm listening to music. And I literally every day, you can ask kids I went to school with, I was always headphones in, and what I really lived off of was music. And so I even in college, when I was about 18 or 19, I moved in with my best friend to this day, an amazing musician in his own right. He's a band director for a school district in Indiana. His name's Zach Manson. He taught me a little bit of music theory to the point where I was 18 and I just had my phone with GarageBand, and I learned, okay, if I can hear this in my head, because to preface, when I was 9, 10, 11, doing that boy band stuff and even doing the band when I was in 4th grade, Van Halen style, I was writing music. I've always just heard stuff in my head, and I love putting that out. That's what I kind of know is my purpose. Not to sound cliche. And so what happened is I lived with this dude who taught me a little bit of music theory. So okay, sing to me your melody. And then he's got perfect pitch. So that was the cherry on top. So I'd always ask him to show me that. And then he would lay it down and then be like, okay, so you can use these notes because it's in this key. And I just went to the races from there. So whenever I wasn't trying to walk on at the college that I was at for football, I was writing music on my phone. And I just had all these visions for, putting out music like Breaking Benjamin, because in the background when I was 15, Breaking Benjamin became my favorite band. And I mean, that's the only tattoo I have right now is their band symbol. So my life just kind of ended up revolving around music again. And I just, candidly, up until probably, again, as of recent, I wasn't even that good of a songwriter. I just had melodies that I was throwing down and throwing guitars and GarageBand on top of it and trying to just have this huge sound and really just trying to mimic what I loved listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess to segue into kind of, now this chapter of my life. So I graduated college. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do music, just for fun, even just doing one album. I was telling myself and my friends, probably won't release it, but I would love to invest into an album so I can look back and I'm happy that I tried something. So my also best friend since childhood, we, through my teen years had talked about it, but we ended up putting it into fruition. His name's Andrew Spista. I moved in with him in Chicago. So, and I was all over the place in college and stuff. I transferred schools to try to play football still. I was just, kind of a nomad, for everything. But I moved to Chicago, and pretty much me and him started what I would say is the beginning of my music career. A project called Unkept. Again, I was telling you guys a little bit about. Oh, sorry. Did I disconnect there?
No,
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened either. I blame it on my computer.
Oh, good. Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still good, I think.
Cool.
We're still live, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm trying not to be super long-winded, but it really is kind of a ludicrous.
Oh, you're fine, dude.
There's so many ways that my kind of background has led to. So me and Andrew kicked off what I would say is the beginning of my music stuff with a project called Unkept, and that was pretty much taking all the songs on my phone. And I, God bless the dude. If it weren't for him financially helping as much as it was motivation, vision, me and him were so aligned, and we still are very aligned on just how we love music, our tastes, stuff like that. We pretty much, lived together, and then we just had some stuff happen with our apartment. We ended up not living together halfway through, but we kicked off the band. And then through that process, I reached out to a college buddy of mine. Again, you're going to hear me say best friend because I really do have multiple best friends, I feel like. His name's Matt Lachinsky. Bar none, in my opinion, in terms of just, out of the box, born with talent, the best musician I know. He has also perfect pitch, but his is the kind that, it's like Charlie Puth, and he'll tell you what that is. That was a terrible note, by the way. Sorry. But he pretty much is the dude I could get the ideas that I had on my phone, run stuff through him, and now we were cooking. Now, because Andrew was pretty novice like me, just transparently. He was learning bass. I was trying to learn guitar. Again, all this, I'm so green to all this because my time was taken up with football while I was, going through growing and like, when I should have been honestly learning music more, I was doing football, which again, it's whatever. So we pretty much, the most amateur people are getting with a phenomenal musician, Matt Lachinsky, who is in like 5 other projects at this time. He's, playing shows in Chicago with a couple bands. He was in a band back in Indiana. That's where I'm from. And where I met him at a college called Ball State in Muncie, Indiana. He had a band back there. Like, he was doing so much stuff, but I don't think he was in anything where he was doing songwriting for the most part. And so it kind of worked out. Me and him are tighter than tight even before I knew he was into music. So long story short, you had Unkept, which was me, Andrew, and Matt, and we pretty much put out and ended up creating Diverge, is the album that you guys see, that Ohkaya's first release or whatever. But essentially, and this hopefully is the last portion of this, is where we're at the chapter now and kind of what ended up happening. So I'm trying to find the best way to say this. So through Andrew and through Andrew's family, who I love to death, they lived up in the Chicago region too, Andrew's brother and sister-in-law, because the rest of our families were back in Indiana, which is how I knew Andrew. So, we're in all over the place. Through them, we met a guy named Parker Jameson, who is probably the best guitarist I know. He's incredible, and he fronts a band called Starkill. They're super sick. You guys should definitely look them up. They're I would almost call it they're like melodic metal, like theatrical metal. They're, Dragon Force, stuff of that nature. Really, really intricate riffing and, harsh vocals and stuff like that, but still really fun to listen to. They've got one of my favorite covers I've ever heard. They cover The Pretender by Foo Fighters. So I think you guys would love listening to them. They're right by, where me and John Terry, JT, getting to live right now. And yeah, they're pretty successful. So we met Parker and I heard their music and I was like, all right, that's good sound quality. We've got songs on my phone. Let's make an album. Let's reach out to this guy. And then he directed me to John Terry, who's now half of Ohkaya. So how that kind of ended up working is to keep a long story short, go through the whole process of tracking, writing and putting together the album Diverge. And he was monumental in that, because wherever my gap ended of like, hey, I'm hearing like a Bring Me the Horizon voice synth thing here, but I don't know how to do that in GarageBand. He was taking care of it. There's a lot of things looking back now that I would change about the songs on the record, because again, I wrote most of that when I was like 18 or 19 and I didn't understand that, hey, when the melody is doing this, let's do this chord because that sounds better. Not let's try to mimic this chord progression because you like it in a different song. A lot of kooky stuff. And he was aware of this. But what ended up happening is we put out the album. We're getting minimal success. We had a couple, the album was out in April, and I want to say like April, May, June. We were hitting like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 at one point monthly listeners. And I was getting really good feedback from my friends, but I think, they're my friends. And I just, we were at a spot where it's like, okay, let's try to grow this through putting out more music and trying to, and I have a marketing and sales background. So I, to some level, have an idea of what we should be doing to market ourselves. And sorry, I knew this would be not a linear thought process here.
It's good.
You're fine.
While all that is happening, I move in. Me and John get a house in the northwest suburbs of Chicago because I was living by myself, and he had, pretty much identical taste in terms of what we think is the best music, which is alt metal, alternative, etc. You get all the beauty of really melodic and really good songwriting, but you get the emotion and the heaviness, for some other stuff. We get a house together because in my brain, I'm like, okay, I can help him if he's wanting to do some solo stuff because he's a producer. Sing on his stuff. He'll help produce our music, and we're gonna listen. And when we're young-ish guys, I was 24 when I moved up here. I'm 25 now. So we're just like, 2 20-year-old dudes living together. Let's like be, stoic and try to do good stuff with our lives. So when that ended up happening, a couple months after the album release, me and him decided, let's just be in another project. And I won't talk to the exact, and there's no bad blood in anything I'm about to say, but just kind of how things went. I could have handled stuff better. But what essentially happened is we paid a fair rate for John to produce the album. He's incredible. And I guess I'll briefly pause here and kind of explain John. John is a touring drummer, like I was telling you guys, in a band called Dance with the Dead, and they are really successful. They're amazing. They're like the coolest instrumental band you could find. But candidly, that's not John's band. He's a touring musician. They treat him, just like he is, and he is, I would say, crucial to a lot of the really good stuff that they have. But when me and John talk, he's got all this talent, and he was wanting to do original music, and he just hasn't, I think, had the position, being a drummer himself and a really good, an amazing songwriter actually, and all the tools that he has at his display, or at his hand. He just didn't have a singer, or he didn't have, A, B, and C. So it literally was like the stars aligned, and we've said that to each other. Like, I needed a producer and, someone to collaborate with on the level that he can do it. And he really needed a singer for his songs. So he's an amazing songwriter. So we ended up starting this project, and we named it Ohkaya. And again, to reiterate, Ohkaya's the name came from me and him just literally trying to find cool sounding names. We had like Ohkaya and like just weird. I can show you the text strand. It's just funny to look at. But then, like I was telling you guys, John has a dog named Kaya. She's adorable. She's the best dog ever. And from like her name and what we were doing, it just made sense. It was like a verbiage. It was, Ohkaya. So to, hopefully let it stick to anyone who's having trouble saying the name. That's, easy way to remember. Me and John kick off Ohkaya. And all this is happening while I'm trying to promote Unkept, and I'm starting to see crossroads here. Me and John can make music, and I don't have to cough up a lot of money, which he rightfully deserves for all the work that he does. Again, he's at a level, and I feel like you guys can hear it in the quality of the music, where he is working with clients that are paying a fair rate. But when I'm in a project with him, I don't have to pay money. And so with me being the main songwriter off the first album, I kind of made the executive decision to loop John in, but it was not, it wasn't like I was bringing John in. It was going to be a new project because John's, a force of a songwriter, a producer. So it was, it was going to turn in from me being a sole songwriter to me and John kind of leading the way, and then Matt and Andrew, for what I was hoping, would just kind of, and it's just like this with everything. And I really have kept my ego, trying to keep it out of it because I don't, look at it like that. I hope people think collaborative that I've worked with, but it's just like, Ollie and Jordan and Bring Me the Horizon, or like, Lennon, McCartney and the Beatles. I'm nowhere. I'm not even comparing that. I'm just saying the dynamic. That's my vision. I was literally thinking, if me and John can write and still collaborate with other people in the band, it'll be great. And again, there's no bad blood. It's just that just wasn't aligning with what we had set up when I was, with the other guys in the band. And there's a lot of nuances that I'm leaving out. Like Unkept played one show with two other phenomenal musicians, Tristan Edge, that's his real name. He's a phenomenal guitarist, and a guy named Mike Green. And those guys we were thinking would come into Unkept. So I had all these different things going on when my number one goal is like, I'm thinking to myself, well, I can work with a seasoned veteran musician. I was trying to have my cake and eat it too. I was trying to literally get all the benefit of not having to pay to get music created. And I'm working with someone who's an amazing songwriter, same taste line, all that stuff. And, candidly, one of my really good friends, while still, trying to have everyone in a band together and assuming there's not going to be clashing decisions on the vision and stuff like that.
Right.
So what ended up happening is it just ended up being the guys were like, hey, we'll still do a project. And at this point, I am doing a project with Mike and Tristan, yet to be named or anything like that. But I'm going to sing with them because those are my boys. I think they're going to come up with some really cool stuff. But at that point, I was just left with Ohkaya and John, and we realized let's leverage the good stuff that had come. There's an album that's out. We had started popping off on YouTube and TikTok with the covers. And because, again, all that was done under Unkept, I just was like, let's not throw away what I've already sacrificed thousands of dollars on and already has a good following, because the Breath video, like I was telling you guys, already had tens of thousands of views in a small period of time. Oh, cool. Yeah. We wanted to leverage that. And so I think we made the right choice overall for what, our goals were and what I think is just a smart business decision. And, I wouldn't change anything about, where I'm at now. So I am so sorry for burning all that time. You guys can see all the different ways we got to where we are. And I just, everyone that I've ever come across and worked with, dude, I mean this hand to God. Like I'm so thankful, like, for all of that stuff. And I just hope, I am making the right decisions and John's making the right decisions, because this is literally 50-50 with me and him, and we can just keep this thing going like how we're doing.
Is there ever going to be a point where you have anybody else join Ohkaya? Do you think?
That's a question I've thought about, and if there's going to be questions that are like, and I'm not saying it's a bad question at all, but I don't know, because me and John run everything by each other for the most part. So I would say I definitely see a point where other people join Ohkaya, but again, candidly, when I wanted to do that with people, and I messed up because of the ways that I went about it, but just because we're at a point we don't need other people, is like what John and I have kind of talked about. If he and me are writing everything, and me and him are working with people that want to in the studio track guitars, or we anything like that, it's more of like if we need to play shows or go on a tour or something like that, I absolutely want to get with my best friends, with any musician that we think fits the bill.
Sure.
So yeah, this is just a weird question. I don't know, but not right now, I don't think.
I gotcha. Let's talk about studio time. How a lot of the stuff that I saw from your acoustic stuff was done like in a living room or in a bedroom kind of deal, in that kind of setting.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading that. I appreciate that, Chris. You rock, dude. Thank you.
He's before we're going for, he said that he'll have to catch it on rerun because he's going to listen to something government related, so politics related. So I didn't put that comment up.
All good. And yeah, just curious, do you guys have a recording of this? Because I have family that would.
I can get you the recording as soon as we're done with it. I'll upload it and all that.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And I could send it to you email.
Cool. Thank you, man. So the studio stuff. Breath was recorded right over here. I'm in my bedroom / office right now. Are you asking like studio that we work out of?
Yeah. Do you have a main studio that you use to record and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
Awesome. Yes, and I love that you asked that, because this I have shout outs that I just want to give for how grateful me and John and everyone is. There's a studio in Naperville, Illinois, that's pretty much built into this guy's house, and his name is Sean Black. Could not do any of this stuff, I think, without him. That's where I met JT. Me and the guys met JT when we did the Unkept stuff, and it is insane, the inside of this place. So I wish I could expand on it more, but it's got everything that you would want in pretty much a fully decked out, equipped studio. And that is where we have tracked and did all the stuff that was Diverge. But as of now, because again, a lot of this stuff, even like for what I think you guys might be used to, there's so much more ease and like workshopping stuff, like just on a computer, and minimal equipment for some of the stuff, DI, all of your instruments and just stuff like that. We have a studio built in our house here where me and John live. That's pretty much just where he's there 8 hours a day working on stuff. And it's soundproofed as much as it can be. And then he's got extra padding and the best of the best equipment, almost $3,000 mic, everything that you could imagine. Yeah. So for what we've got, it's great. And then there's an amazing studio that we worked out of in Naperville.
So the song that Mark has on deck for us is Take Leave. This is a song. When did you write this?
Take Leave candidly is like almost 100% John. So when me and John decided to get together, for Ohkaya, he had demos, and I don't think this one was actually as far along as like Hold Me Close, like we were talking about. Take Leave, he started from something that I think he had heard, and he wrote a lot of that. So when we get John on here another time, I would like him to give his
look. He's already said he'll come back on. There we go.
Yeah. All right,
I got it. I got it in recording, so that'll work.
Yeah, 100% for sure. So I'll let him speak to that, but just for what I contributed, I wrote lyrics and helped John and me write lyrics together. And for any background on that, I think we just really wanted a song that kind of demonstrated how versatile our sound is. There's screaming in it, there's clean vocals in it, it's really melodic, gets really heavy, And it's really short, which I don't think is going to be, I don't think we're going to have a bunch of 2.5-minute songs, but I think it's just, it's really, really good. I call it super radio friendly. It's not like a song I would write, and that's a really good thing because I love it. It's got a little bit more of like almost a punk or like a, just a more, couldn't find the word, but it's more of a, a certain area that John is really an expert in because of his past bands that he's been in. So I love it all the way around. And we knew that we were going to, make it a single or at least, one of the releases. So.
Was it written for anybody in particular? Was this, on John's portion of it and your portion of it, did you guys?
You thinking like lyrically?
Yeah.
Well, lyrically, I think I came up with the idea of kind of what and this is just, from the vibe I was getting when he was showing me the instrumental. It's pretty much a song about, it's going to sound so corny to say it in this way, but, not respecting bullies and not letting people get to you. So you can think of it in a more like inclusive sense of like any negative force, you can control how that affects you. And to me, the way I was like writing stuff and showing it to John and he was writing stuff, I took it from the perspective of like a dad talking to a daughter. So, don't let them feel like they've won, break free from everyone who take leave and never love. And then your innocent eyes we came up with like at the ends, whatever. But so it's really just a song that I think is a message, a hopeful message, which a lot of our music, I don't know if it's going to be because everything's in a minor key in metal. So yeah, it's just a hopeful, positive message.
All right, well, boys, let's take a listen to that song right now. If you got to get a drink, go pee. You got what, 2 minutes to do it? If you don't want to
2 minutes 41 seconds.
Stand by, dude, because this song gets to you, boy. I like this song a lot.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.
Break free from everyone who would take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them go! Right now, you can't convince me you're not addicted to every little lie they say to make amends. You need to live and just let it go. And if you fall apart, let them feel like they've won and leave behind. I think you know by now I'm broken out. It's a man about me. Just let them go and break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them go and break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them go and make it alright. I'm ready for your thoughts. Now I know what you're thinking, and even though I'm someone you can believe in, I really wanna know. What would you say to me? You can't convince me of anything I haven't told myself. Just let them go inside. Break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them go and break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them break free from everyone who take leave. I've never loved your innocent eyes. Just let them go.
Take leave. I love it.
Thanks,
Absolutely
dude.
love it. See? Banger. I told you, Mark. The song is sick, dude. It really is. I mean, you're right. It starts off to me like I thought it was gonna be like a
I do want to go to North
have that
Carolina.
piano-y vibe throughout the whole thing. But then when I'm sure that was John that just said, you know what, and then bam, I hit you with this.
Yeah, if there's one thing John's really good at, and this is why I'm so much happier with like, thank you so much, Gene. Appreciate that, man. Well, I'm so happy to like made some of the decisions I did, like to move in with him. He would take something that's like at a 5 and make it a 10 because he's just trying, you know, different directions, trying to make a chord sound cool, trying to make a melody more memorable, like just stuff like that. And that song, like you just said, it goes in like 5 different directions, but it's tasteful. And that's really all John. So,
Mark, you're getting a whole lot of feedback from your kid.
I know.
Kick her out. Get her out of the studio. Sorry about that, AJ.
She just got home.
She's excited. She's excited because Dad's live right now. So it's like, who's he on with?
No,
Hopefully she'll go and put it on her computer and start watching.
I doubt it. My family don't watch my shit.
What about venues? Are you guys doing anything local, like to where you're at, as far as like hitting any of the like any of the bars or anything, bar scene to play music or anything like that?
So 2-part answer. I'm going to because I'm getting better at guitar. Just to do it, I need to, you know, kind of. I've only played 1 real show and then like 2 acoustic shows in my life, so I need to just do it in general. John has played probably 2,000 shows in his life. He's like literally been in the scene, in the Chicago scene, for like 10 years. So he's, I think, cool with playing shows. Doesn't need to do it. And again, he was just, I can't remember like what I told you guys off live and whatever, but John was just on tour with Dance with the Dead, the band I brought up. And he played, I don't know, like probably 30 shows. So in terms of like talking shows, we just don't do it because we're trying to grow, I think, just organically online. But we have just recently discussed if we can still, you know, if we're growing at the rate that we are right now, the trajectory, I bet we could put together, you know, a pretty cool set, like a one and done for 2025. But besides that, not really. And again, it's just me and him. So we'd have to go through, I think, a lot to put a show together. But if it makes sense, we'll do it, I feel like. But again, second part, I am planning on doing stuff. I'll probably go play some of our songs like acoustically at a bar and then do like 80% covers, stuff like that.
That'd be pretty cool, man. I think people would like to see that too. I mean, I think that's how a lot of talent gets found too, as far as, you know, you have older crowds that don't do TikTok, you know, so that's why I said I don't know if you were hitting up the bars and stuff like that, but if you guys ended up doing that, I'm sure you would get a little bit of a following there. They're gonna be like, oh my God, when are you coming? What's the next bar you're going to? Where are you gonna go next? You know, that's what people like me, because I don't know. Like, no, I'm just kidding. I love TikTok.
Yeah, I mean,
I really enjoy going to the bars too, man. And you know, the music vibe, it has to be on point, because if it's not what I want to listen to, I'm just going to get in my car and go to the next place, you know?
You're speaking my literal language. I will absolutely obliterate a touch tunes at any bar I step foot in. Like, the music is like number one for me for like any vibe. So yeah, and to one of the points that you had said, I think weirdly enough, I think it's even as recent as like 5 years. Stuff's different. Like,
yeah,
even 5 or 10 years ago, you needed to do shows, you needed to do those things. And that's just, I don't think the case anymore. Like TikTok specifically, but then also YouTube and Instagram and stuff. If you can be friendly with the algorithm and get put in front of people, you know, the world's your oyster. But all that to be said, I want to still I tell John this, like, I'm so green, I want to play shows. That's why I'm still going to absolutely do a project with my best friends, you know, that were in Unkept. And then they also were in another project called Heartbreak Avenue, and they were doing cover shows. And I saw them play live, and I'm just like itching to get on stage, because that's, you know, that's also why I do this. So Totally agree with your points. But at the same time, we're realizing we probably could not play a show for 3 years and could potentially still be successful. You know, it just depends on how you market and stuff like that.
I mean, I think if you're going to do your own music at these venues, that I would assume that you would have to have just a ton of stuff, you know, a ton of music, a ton of vocals, a ton of riffs and stuff like that, already in the bag, ready to go. So you can just be like, bam, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like I was telling you guys, Unkept, we did a show a couple months back, the one show I've done like live, and it went really, really well. But, there was like, we had backing tracks for just how, our music sounds. And then, we had to rehearse a bunch, and it's a lot, it really is a lot to put together a full show. You used to go to bars like that? Nice. Dude, Gene, yeah. Dude, I would love to play for you, dude. So it is a lot, yeah.
So, Mark, you want to play a game with AJ?
Oh, we're gonna play a game.
Do you want to?
Yeah,
AJ,
why not?
Do you want to play in a game? We got this little game that we like to play. It's called Florida or Not Florida.
Yeah, we haven't played it in a few weeks. I got cards ready. So
You guys are from Florida, right?
yes,
We are from Florida. That's why we do the Florida or Not Florida or the Florida Man,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. Mark,
Yeah,
I'll read you
otherwise-
a little topic, and then you're just going to tell us if it happened in Florida or if it didn't.
Hold on. Who's playing against him?
I don't know. Somebody in the comments?
Let's see. Who wants to play against him? Remember, there's like a few seconds delay.
Are there people? I can't see if there's anyone watching, which is
Yes, there are people watching. That's why when every time that they talk and I put the comment up, most of them.
Not every time, because you're missing comments, I'm sure. I don't get to see the
Oh.
comments either, so I have full screen going.
Chris will.
Chris will play. Okay. Chris is a Florida boy. So
Isn't he from around here?
Yeah. Yes, he may have an edge. He may have
Okay.
an
If,
edge.
All right.
okay. If Chris wins, we'll be any which way. If AJ wins, we'll send him a shirt. If Chris wins, well, we'll give him a sticker. I mean, a shirt.
Dude, I'll take a shirt. Nice, thank you.
Well, let's see if you can win the game.
You're right.
All right.
Here, I'm gonna clue you in. I want to clue you in. Mark,
Do not listen. Do not listen to him.
If it involves an alligator, the shit probably happened in Florida.
Yeah.
Just
It
saying.
could have been Louisiana. It could have been Texas. My God.
All right.
All right.
We'll see.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna have to go back and forth on that part. All right. Let's see here.
All right, so I got Chris playing, and I have AJ. All right.
All right. I'm gonna start. See, normally Brian tells you that if it has something to do with drugs, meth, it's Florida.
Okay.
So
I feel like
thought-
there's a lot of spots that could be though in the United States.
Oh, exactly. That's what I said.
And Mark said, yeah, stay open to that because there's meth in other places, bud.
Yeah, because I went through and I was trying to find stuff like that. So, okay, I'll start it off this way. All right, two women got stopped in a car, and one was speeding. The cop came to the window, asked her for her driver's license. She started being a bitch, saying, "Hey, look, I don't have to give you any of this," being awful, to the officer. Passenger didn't do anything. But because the driver was being bad, the female passenger had to be, asked the same questions, So they got the driver out, frisked her down. I still don't understand why she was being, why she was being a bitch about it all. But any which way, the woman on the driver's side or passenger side, officer goes in, frisks her.
I'm so sorry, dudes. I'm getting a knock on my door. Can I just
Okay,
Yeah,
go
sure.
get it. Go get it real quick.
don't ever get anyone knocking on my door. I apologize.
He's like, I ordered pizza, I think, earlier.
Can you say that a little bit faster? But
I'm not feeding right now.
Okay, so two women driving down the road get pulled over. The passenger gets what?
the passenger gets out, the passenger gets out. She gets
Starts
frisked.
causing problems.
He starts causing problems, and officer frisks her down, and she has meth in her bra.
Boom, got her.
Officer went to go grab it out, and she bit him.
No
You're
audio.
muted.
Sorry.
There you go.
I'm sorry about that. That was my landlord. That is so unprofessional. I apologize, but he was just giving
You're
me
good.
lease agreement stuff. So really sorry about that.
Hey,
You're
no
good,
big
man.
deal. All right, I'm going to do this the way that I normally do it instead of give the whole long story. All right, 2 women were, arrested because one woman had meth in her bra. When the officer went to go grab it out, the woman bit her. While in jail, the woman had 5 attorneys request to stop representing her.
Did that happen in Florida, or did that happen elsewhere? Not Florida.
That's pretty bizarre, and that woman sounds horrendous.
I hope it's not Florida for our sake.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just like set the bar here. I'll say Florida.
Ooh, AJ's going Florida. Chris is not Florida. Where did it happen, Mark?
Mars says it's Florida behavior. And it was
It was Florida.
Woo-hoo!
Ocala.
Ocala, Florida.
Yeah.
All right, what
That's
point?
crazy.
All right, how many more questions you got, Mark?
I don't know. I got a shit ton. I mean,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
no, not that many.
Typically, like 4 or 5.
Yeah. Man with neck tattoo crashes while fleeing police. Tattoo said, all gas, no brake.
Dude, all of these are gonna sound like Florida, but I'm gonna say that one's not Florida because I could see that being in a lot of areas.
You say it's Florida or not Florida?
Not Florida.
Not Florida. Chris, where you at? Florida or not Florida? Hang on, give him a second. There's a delay on that side.
Makes sense.
He says definitely not Florida.
So not Florida as well. Where did it happen, Mark? Was it Florida?
Oh
It was
my!
Florida.
Polk County. I had to laugh because it literally said that. Now, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Sounds like one of my customers.
Man high on bath salt breaks into house, puts up Christmas decorations.
Dude, I mean that definitely sounds like Florida, but I'm a numbers guy and I don't like. I mean, 3 Floridas back to back to back. It's risky.
It's
I'm
risky.
gonna say not Florida. I'm gonna
I
think that's like
concur with
LA.
AJ. Like in the hills?
Yeah, like somewhere out in LA. I could see someone doing that.
Like it. Yeah. Sounds about right. Like I would think Midwest, Midwest, something like that, maybe.
Could be.
And Chris says Florida. All right, what do you got?
Damn, Chris.
Not Florida.
Ohio.
Ohio, dude. Yeah, that's Ohio behavior right there.
Hey, would you break into my house? Because I still ain't put up Christmas decorations yet.
Yeah, I know. Your wife said she wasn't going to.
Nope, we're not doing it this year.
Naked man gets arrested for humping a tree, then starts running down the road and punches a cop.
That's Florida through and through. That's crazy. That's like an average Tuesday.
That shit happened in Florida. The guy was probably high on meth.
Yeah.
He was probably high on meth, right? Chris, what do you got?
He says not Florida.
So
Hey,
we're
has
not
Chris
Florida.
got any? Has Chris got any right?
No, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel bad
No, he
for him.
hasn't.
Oh.
He said not Florida, Florida, and then he's saying not Florida on this one.
Yep.
It did happen. The guy was high on meth.
He was high on something. It didn't say in there what it was high on. All right. That
Last
one's-
one?
Yeah, last one. Let's see.
It's got to be a good one.
Oh, this one actually I thought was funny as hell. Burglar was caught because he laughed at the husband's joke. He was inside hiding while the people were there. The husband told a joke. They didn't say what the joke was before you asked, but he laughed at it.
I'm gonna say not Florida. I don't have any explanation, but that's like a movie scene, and I don't know if Florida's. I feel like Florida's just a little tragic sometimes.
Dude, I would have rage killed this guy because I'd have been like, all right, honey, who have you been cheating on me with?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
All right, give a guess where you think it is.
Kentucky.
ooh.
Well, Chris says sounds like Idaho. Now, Chris, you got half of it right.
Iowa.
It's not Florida.
It's not Florida. The other part, New York.
So AJ wins the shirt.
Wow, dude, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll get you a shirt in the mail. You're gonna have to text me your mailing address and we'll get it out to you.
Yeah, Brian will get it to you in like 6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, bullshit. Mark sends them out. It's like 4 or 5 days. You're gonna have a shirt. A couple of stickers. Yeah, absolutely. If you get a chance to wear it, take a photo in it. We just advertise with the shirt basically to say, hey, listen, everybody's getting the shirts. Follow us on, talking shit, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about that. Merchandise. What do you guys do? Are you guys putting merch together yet?
Yeah. Give it 3 weeks. I'm gonna put a time frame on it, and I'm gonna make sure John and me are locked in. It's been so long now.
He's already got
Chris,
stickers.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't have any formal merch yet, but we're going to get a website, merchandise, and then our music kind of all in one central place in the next, call it 3 weeks. So I will definitely, if you guys are cool with it, I mean, I can share it however possible. But right now I'm upset I can't promote it, but we will have it. And I think it's going to be pretty cool with kind of what we're looking at doing for our logo.
Our only recommendation is to stay away from the Chinese cheap sites, if you know what I'm saying. The ones that, hey, we'll take care of all your merchandise for you. We'll do all your stuff. The next thing you know, people are buying T-shirts that are either 3 sizes too small or 3 sizes too big because
with our shirts. This is what they look like. We went with a local company and it was great. I'm hoping that we will hear back from them about hats.
Yep.
Because that's what I want next. I want a hat, and because we already have hoodies. Well, we have 2 hoodies for demo, and we want 2 hats or maybe 4 hats for demos, and then give 2 away to somebody lucky, and go from there.
Awesome. Yeah, nothing shady. Again, my background's in sales and marketing, and I work in a company I'm really fortunate. The guy who owns it has been nothing but supportive for me, and I think he's watching right now, so I'll just give him a shout out. Joe Betzel, JRB team. We can handle any sales and marketing you need. Pretty much, we are building the website the way it should be done, and we're getting it set up the way it should be. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Very cool.
Eventually, one day,
when your website is up, that you shoot us the link, and we'll share that on our page as well.
Thank you, man.
Eventually, one day we'll have something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
we're the 2 geniuses. We're the 2 geniuses behind this, so we're not doing very good.
I mean, you guys got, I went through everything to see if it, to come on, and I thought everything looked cool, and I love you guys' stuff. So yeah.
So
thank you.
Well, we appreciate that too, dude. Thank you. With everything that you got going on, are you full-time musician or do you work as well? You said you're in sales and marketing.
Yeah. So my day job is a sales and marketing consultant.
Okay.
Cool.
That's like a full-time thing.
Pretty much. I mean, and I tell my friends this, it's almost, I'm in a position where I feel like I'm also pretty much at a point where I'm helping run a company. Obviously, I don't actually, but it's a small business, and again, I've been with them for years now, and I'm fortunate because it doesn't feel like I really have a full-time job and I'm doing music on the side. It feels like I'm running a business and I'm doing kind of something philanthropic. I'm like helping small businesses with their sales and their marketing, and then music. I do hope there is a point that it becomes full-time. I think I was telling you guys behind not live. We've gotten a cool record deal offer, and we've gotten streams of income from the music because we've been fortunate for the covers and stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not nearly in a position to do full-time music just yet.
Soon, hopefully soon you'll be able to do that. So with work, with the band, what do you do for fun?
Really trying to think. For healthy habits, I love working out. I love doing pretty much anything that's like involving athletics, watching sports, working out, being around my friends. As cliche as that is, I love eating out. Food is like one of my biggest hobbies, so I love going to restaurants a lot. Songwriting,
I love food, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do love Florida, Chris. I love it. My family, that's like our spot we go to. Like growing up, families, the vacation, Florida was the spot. And I was in a wedding last year for my best friend in Florida. So yeah, I love to travel. I love traveling. But funny enough, I don't fly. I can't, I'm scared of flying, I'll just say. So that sucks, but I love.
Really jacks my ears up, dude. I can fly. It just really hurts bad. Yeah. I have a fear of flying. I have a fear of crashing.
So I made it worse when I moved into Chicago. My first place that I got with Andrew was like, no joke, 1,000 feet away from O'Hare Airport. And I mean, I was like,
oh, hell no.
Dude, it was, and I was on the 16th story, and I knew I had a fear of flying. I'd only flown like twice in my life prior to moving in there, but dude, I can't even describe to you. I would see as I'm working from home is where I work from home. I was working and like I have this view of like the main strip that planes are coming in on, and it's like every 3 minutes a plane's coming in. And when I would go to sleep, as real as it could be, I would wake up and sit at my desk in my dream and see a plane go up and like come back and crash in front of me. It was a reoccurring dream, and it's like now ruined flying for me. I have to get extremely intoxicated to get on a plane. That's the only time I've done it after the fact. So it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of flying, and like my wife is like, oh, let's go to Alaska. I sent her like last year, I think she went to Alaska. Is that right, Mark?
Last August.
To go to Alaska. Yeah,
Alaska would be cool.
So they wanted to go this year, and they were like, oh, come on, let's go. And then my buddy's like, dude, I'll go, but he's like, I hate it because I'm jet lagged for like the entire time I'm there. And I'm like, dude, I would be the same way. I won't be able to hear anything. It's literally like somebody's driving nails into my ears, and that's how bad it is. And there's nothing I can do. I've chewed gum. I've taken Dramamine. I've done everything I thought I could do. I've drank beer before getting on the plane. There's nothing.
Did you let your wife hit you in the back of the head like 100 times?
Yeah.
Not doing that. So, but yeah. So TikTok. How many followers are you guys at on TikTok right now?
35,000, 34,000.
And how can we help you grow that?
Again, I told you guys, I'll say it a million times. I can't thank you enough for reaching out and doing something cool like this. I think it's really awesome what you guys are doing for small artists. I appreciate you being humble, saying, I think you guys are big. You got, a couple thousand subscribers on YouTube. That's huge. Not many people have that. So just doing this alone is like super, super helpful. So I appreciate it. And then, having me and John back another time. Really appreciate that. Yeah. So and then at that point, hopefully I know I'm coming off, a little upset about it because I am. We need to have merch and we need to have a website up.
You're 3 weeks away. And don't rush it though. If you think it looks good, don't put it out there until you go, all right, let's look at it one more time. Because you always catch something. When we did the shirts on the second run, you know what I didn't catch? I got the logo and everything back from our printer, and the X logo was still the Twitter logo. And I was like, I didn't catch it. I think Mark caught it, and he goes, "Yeah, everything looks great except the bird." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh,
No, you showed me. I was like, you said, "What's wrong with this?" And I said, and I'm like, nothing. And you go, "Look again, look closer." And then that's when I said,
I was the one that caught it."
yes.
Then it definitely wasn't me. It was my wife. Then she's the one that told me then, because I knew it came from one of you guys.
Yeah, because I thought it was funny.
Are you writing music on a constant basis? Are you writing daily?
At
That's
this
a good
point,
thing, right?
100% yes. I've gone through a couple months ago. I just it was a drought. It's again, I can't thank the dude enough. He's becoming my best friend and stuff. I think Chris is awesome. Shouting out you dudes.
Well, not you too, buddy.
Happy holidays. I really do think I've come a long way as a songwriter. So now that I know how to play guitar, and now that I'm at a point where I can hear what's in my head and lay it out myself versus doing it through Matt or doing it through JT. I've been writing nonstop the past 3 or 4 weeks, and I've got a lot of stuff that I think is going to be super cool. And then Sean's always writing too. I feel like.
Have you sold any songs?
I love that you asked that, because literally 2 weeks ago I found this out. We are apparently selling songs through iTunes, through our distributor, and I didn't know that music was getting sold anymore. I thought it was all just streaming, Spotify and Apple Music. Yeah, we've had a good handful of songs. People have paid whatever it is, $1.99, or no, it's got to be less than that.
No, I mean, not only that, but I mean, has anybody wanted to buy one of your songs? That's why I should have said.
Oh, I write for someone?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm just thinking because I've worked with other musicians, but I don't think I've given up stuff, and that's not by choice. I think I'd be down to do that. Yeah, I don't think so. I'd be open to it though. I love songwriting. Songwriting's my favorite thing to do.
I was gonna say so if somebody reached out and they were like, "Hey, I'm from the Sam Hunt team or something like that, and he wants this song, he wants to take this song and run with it or something, right?"
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, "What's the dollar figure, bro? What's the dollar figure?"
Not even. I'm at a point again. I'm very fortunate. We have had some of the this is all very minor. I'm not big by any means, but to have a couple 100,000 views now collectively on YouTube in just a couple months, and to have TikTok, we have millions of views on TikTok now, and it's crazy. I'm at the point where I will say yes to anything as long as it's still aligning with kind of the vision for Ohkaya. So if Sam Hunt hit me up for a song, first off, I would think he's hammered. But then if he actually really wanted me to write something, I think I'm really becoming the songwriter that I've always wanted to be as of recent. So yeah, I would love any and all of that.
And from the band that we had on last week, like I said, right before we came on the show, they were saying if do it for the music, do it for what you love, and if you start to not love it anymore, then don't do it anymore. Don't do it for money, do it for what you love. You know what I'm saying? That band specifically wears masks over their faces, and they're known as No One, Nobody, and No One, because they said
nothing.
It's all
nothing.
It's nothing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nothing, no one, and nobody.
You're not. Yeah. Something like that. You're not going to say what else he said last week.
What
about? He said that when they get ready to do stuff out there and want to tour, that they would like to do something with them.
Inside the Trojan Horse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I would love that conversation. I would love to talk to those dudes. They seemed really cool. I did watch some of that. I checked out their social media, I checked out their music. They're definitely a different, I'd say they're rock for the most part, but they're definitely of a genre that I don't write like. So I love to checking their stuff out. So I'm totally down to talk to those dudes.
Yeah, on the 22nd, 23rd, they're going to the 22nd they're releasing a new song, and they're going to allow us to release it that day.
Nice. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is Blood and Teeth, and I think that he said that we'll enjoy that as much as we. I think he said that falls along the lines of your music, your other song that we're gonna play here in just a second. He said it's more along the lines of that one. So I was like, okay. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But not talking about other bands, we're talking with Ohkaya, AJ.
No, I wasn't saying. I'm not saying that we were talking about other. I'm just saying what they said.
No, absolutely. They did say that, you know, as you guys progress and stuff, they would absolutely do some work with you guys too. So, I mean, we can make that happen. We can get you guys linked up at least.
Yeah, they live right by us. So
literally right down the road. Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, Brian's still got to get with them and, you know, find out when we're going to meet up.
That's awesome.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Let's see. I think we hit on almost every. I mean, I didn't want to ask a ton of questions because I always hate when it sounds like an interview.
We didn't ask a ton of questions.
You did not.
You can see Mark's got his Lions hat on, right?
Yes, I'm a Lions fan.
You can see that I'm drinking out of a Steelers cup.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me you're a Bears fan.
What blood flows through your veins?
I'll just casually slide back here.
He's a Colts fan.
Okay, I can deal with that.
I'm Indy, so
I can deal with that as long as it's not a Chicago fan. That's good.
No, dude. If I was a Chicago fan, I would stop being a Chicago fan this year.
I can't stand their quarterback at all. I don't like him. And he might be. Yeah, I just think he's a prima donna, but that's just me.
You gotta give him his props, man. He's a young quarterback, dude. Give him time.
I was hoping I want him to flop. I mean, I'm sorry.
I mean, I called it with Justin Fields. Again, I was a quarterback, so I used to live and breathe studying other play styles. I never thought Justin Fields was going to be a pocket passer like my friends wanted him to be, and you know now he's on the Steelers, so you see that. Yep. And with Caleb Williams, I do think he's more talented, and I candidly just haven't watched a ton. But the organization as a whole, you need to set it on fire. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, when you tell your punter that you're going to get well rested for the year, you're not going to be out there punting a lot. He punts a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, he literally told the punter that. I'm like, what the hell? You can't go telling your punter that. You just jinxed yourself. Yeah. But I thought that he was, you know, all the stuff that he was asking for in a contract and all that.
Sorry, Chris.
Poor Chris over there is a Miami Dolphins fan, so we feel you.
Well,
we feel your pain.
I mean, I could say something bad about their quarterback, but you know,
dude, their quarterback needs to stop die on the field, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
he's gonna die on the football field.
That's crazy. He doesn't want to wear. The Guardian cap. I'm like, dude, just wear the damn helmet.
Shit, his contract to pay him outright. You know, he'd get shit ton of money for just
he doesn't have to play.
Right.
Yeah. Well, real quick, since we're talking about football, in my draft, my original draft was to pick up CJ Stroud. How do you guys feel that CJ is doing as a fresh young quarterback?
He had a step back from last year, but he's doing fine with what he has because he's had a lot of injuries. And I think he's doing great. He's still in the playoff hunt. He's still, he's still good, but, I mean, I could say bad stuff about him, being Ohio State. I can't say the other word that I normally would say about them, but I'm a Michigan fan, of course.
All right.
But being that, he's no longer with them, I could say that, I think he's worth it.
Yeah. So, I wanted him over Anthony Richardson when the Colts were drafting. But, we ended up with Anthony Richardson, and I love Anthony Richardson way more as a person, in my honest opinion. CJ Stroud, I've seen interviews, and he's just like, I don't know. He rubs me the wrong way, the way he's talking.
It's always small talk. It's never anything big. Richardson's out there. He'll talk and talk. You know.
Yeah. And I just mean because everything I see is all Colts related. I see all the charity stuff that he does and just like some of the cool stuff. So I've grown to really like him. But like CJ Stroud as a player, I thought is playing really well. And then like you had said, Mark, like he's just run into stuff that probably makes him seem worse than he is. I think he's doing a pretty good job, especially with where the Texans, you know, in years past. I mean, my favorite quarterback of all time is Andrew Luck, and I absolutely cry every time I think about him and for what could have been. And that was when the Texans were awful and stuff. And you know, they've come a long way, and I think CJ Stroud's really good.
Andrew Luck, he retired early. I understand why he did it, but he could have been so much.
Oh, dude. Yep.
But at least he knew when to step away.
Yeah. Cough,
Unlike,
Tua.
Yeah, I was about to say, not like Tua, who can't step away.
He said he won't do it. He's going to leave it all on the field, man. I'm like, dude, don't do that shit. No,
Yeah,
I would be mortified if I was the guy that was playing against him on as a defensive lineman, and I just sack him, and then he never gets up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he's putting other people at risk for him as well.
Yeah, honestly,
You know?
yeah, I never thought about it like that, but that's very true.
So yeah, I mean, I'd be mortified, dude. Like, oh my god, I killed somebody. I'll never step foot on a football field ever again. Or you know what I mean? Like, I'll never watch another game. Or I don't know what I would do, quite honestly.
That'd be nuts.
You know, I don't want to be the one. So, all right, Mark, you have another song from Ohkaya?
Yes, I do.
What's the name of this song?
The name? You don't remember the name of it?
Tell us about this song.
Hold Me Close.
Yep.
So pretty much Ohkaya has 3 songs for me and John kicking stuff off. And again, all the Diverge stuff, feel free to listen to. I love it. Still, it's, you know, kind of the beginning of the stuff I was writing, and being half of Ohkaya, I still love that we kind of absolved that, just, you know, that discography. But this song is really, I think, the beginning of me and John realizing, or at least me, he showed it to me and I was like, okay, he's not just a really good producer and able to do every genre, because he's, you know, he works with country artists, pop artists, rappers, anything. He really has the exact same taste as me. Like, that's, you know, where it kind of clicked. And this one I worked more with him on. I think it was more of, you know, a collaborative effort. But he had a lot of the instrumental done. He had the hook. The hook is my favorite hook. I like it even more than Take Leave. And it's amazing. Like, I heard it, and he had at the time an AI vocal on it, which I think is really clever as a songwriter, but he's not a singer. He can't sing. So he'll just do, like, you know, he'll model a voice after someone that he likes, or, you know, whatever he does. Again, he can talk to all these the next time you guys talk to him. But he had like some other voice on it doing the hook, and then he just had instrumental. So I had it in my disposal, and I just was messing with it. And I was like, I don't know what came to me, but I just started doing like a scream, you know, verse. And I thought it was really cool. It almost sounded like a System of a Down, Avenged Sevenfoldy, you know, pretty hardcore stuff. And we just passed it back and forth. And then, like, when he got to work on it, dude, and then, like, we, you know, collaborated on the bridge, he would throw, like, the bridge instrumental, and I had, like, a melody idea, and we were just going back and forth with the song to build it to its completion. I mean, it ended up being so cool compared to what I was used to, writing songs on my phone and then trying to, you know, here, John, help me out with this. It was just way more like, you know, I was reaching new heights with songwriting I've just never done before. And so that one I would just say is like pure, really what you can expect. There's, you know, if there's even a little part in it that's got a cool piano, that's what I was talking about with John. He wants to find cool chords that you don't normally hear. He does really, really cool stuff when he's writing, you know, the music for us too. And so for me, it's a breath of fresh air. I don't have to write everything in my phone. I don't have to worry about, you know, is this bland? Oh, I can show this dude who I know has a really expansive knowledge of what sounds good, in my opinion. So yeah, I love it to death. It's my favorite song that we've done so far. And yeah, the chorus is just like insane to me. So I hope everyone takes away the same thing and they listen past the first 40 seconds of screaming.
So when Mark played it for me earlier, I said, man, that's not it. I said, the video is right, but I'm missing something here. I'm like, it's a little less heavier than that. And I was like, And then he gets to the chorus, and I was like, oh yeah, that's 100% it right there. Yeah, never mind, this is it. Yep. I had to go back and listen to it again. I was like, yep, okay, got it.
Yeah, it's cool. And like the bridge of it is, I think, just like with Take Leave, it's you're gonna get it with our music. We want to just write the best song, and at least for me, when I'm writing our music, it comes from like a place of like I hear a melody, and then I put that down. And now that I'm a guitar player now, I do it with the guitar, and then it's like, okay, is this going to be more pop sounding, or is this going to be more just straight up heavy, or a mix of the both? Which is why I love alternative metal, like I was saying. So sorry, I got lost, but that's kind of why we had it like that. So when you get to the chorus, it's like they sound like two different songs, but it works together in a way.
Now, you're talking about a little bit about AI real quick. Is the video AI generated, or is this something that you guys filmed? How did that work out?
No. So we're just using collateral that is, we pay for. So it's not proprietary in the means of like we did it. But it's footage that we can use. But moving forward, we're going to have a lot more stuff that we do ourselves. I won't disclose too much, but we've got plans for some really cool videos coming. And for the most part, all the visualizers that are, tied with the songs, and we try to actually have like a cohesive thought, reflecting the theme of the song or something that is traditionally just pulled off of, what we're allowed to take from. We're not, going to run into royalty problems. But to that point, the Take Me to Church cover is AI generated. So that's pretty cool. We came up with that through an AI tool.
Got it. All right, let's play the song.
All right. What's the name of the song again, Brian?
Hold Me Close.
There we go.
All right. So what did you guys think about that? I like it.
I love the beat.
That's
The
all
beat
right.
alone. Like I said, I don't listen to.
Piano.
I don't.
I was waiting for it too because when you mentioned it, I never listened for the piano before, but I had to. I was checked in this time. I was like, oh, there it is.
Real small and really, yeah, just kind of cool.
It's got almost a the beat almost had like a almost like a oh man, kind of like a DJ scratch in the background. I don't know if you catch that or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's John Terry. When I was like writing on it, it was really rough sounding because it's all MIDI. Again, when we write, it's like I was telling you guys, you can workshop a lot just on your laptop. So he'll have, and it's great. I mean, the demos sound great, but it's not remotely what you just heard. So he does all that production and stuff, and I contribute with some ideas and stuff, but he's the one that kind of orchestrates a lot of that. Imagine like trying to write over just hearing that guitar part. It's like weird, you know. It's like da 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 da, and you're just like, I'm hearing it, trying to think of you know, how to bring the song to life, like with lyrics and stuff. So yeah, you bring it up like the record scratch. There's strings in it. There's so many layers, hundreds of layers on these things. So that's really cool that you notice, little stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you listen to it more than one time because the first time you hear it, like the melody is what I think I absolutely fell in love with, and that's why I was like, when he played it for me earlier, I was like, dude, that's not the song. And then then it hits, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, he had me questioning it. I'm like, what the hell? I said, go find it, and then I pulled it up on YouTube. I said, this is off their page. This is where I took the song from.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Having like because again, I'm a marketing guy, and I'm just being honest. Like, I obviously want to be successful with music, but it's balancing the fine line of not selling out, but doing what you are trying to do. So there's always a part in the back of my brain where I'm like, people will turn this off 40 seconds in because it sounds like a heavy thrasher song. They don't get to the chorus. But when you start getting to that level of not doing what you want to do with the music and trying to please people, me and John talks about it like that. We don't cave on stuff like that. Now, candidly, I love what is mainstream, so I don't ever feel like I'm selling out when I want a song to have a chorus 20 seconds in. That is the best melody I feel like I've ever written. 20 seconds in, I think is what I said. So there's like a fine balancing act here where we're gonna write songs that we want to write. But it's so funny hearing you guys talk about it because that's exactly what I envisioned. Is there's going to be people who like hear the hook that we put on social media and then go try to find the song and like it's not on Spotify because they don't listen. So it's funny, yeah.
This is true. This is true. So, Well, AJ, listen, we asked you for an hour of your time to do this show, and you've been super humble and given us over an hour of your time. Is there anything that you have upcoming that you want people to know about? Where can our fans find you? All that stuff.
I already beat you to it.
Nice. You can follow us at Ohkaya Band on everything. Funny side note is when I'm like doing our SEO, like I'm checking to make sure like Google has us as #1. If you type in Ohkaya, you find us. Just basic marketing stuff. A lot of people type in Ohkaya Band and like think that that's our band name. It's just Ohkaya, if anyone sees that. You can find us at that on pretty much everything. Again, we'll have a website that we can promote through you guys next time we're on here, which brings it to my last thing I want to say. Seriously, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate doing stuff like this. This is super cool. Again, I whether we grow and can be full-time successful musicians or not, like this is just the coolest shit ever, and I really thank you guys. And I think anytime we can hang out,
we all want to see you grow. That's the whole thing, and that's why we wanted to bring you on and let other people know who you are, so that you can get more people. Listen, if I get you 2 more followers, it's 2 more than what you had before, right?
Fact. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. And I think those 2 people get you 2 more followers, and so on and so forth. Eventually, the big thing is they got to go and listen. And I'm telling you right now, when they sit down and go through your TikTok and watch the acoustic, they're gonna fall in love with that, man. They're just going to. I already know what's gonna happen. So,
Yeah, it
we want
wasn't.
to see more acoustic stuff from you, but your own personal. So work on something like that, man, for us.
Yes, I was just gonna say for the last point that you had for upcoming stuff, I haven't even told John. I've got some ideas, especially around the acoustic stuff for our original stuff that I'm gonna bring to life. I think will be super cool. We've got a song that's probably gonna drop in January that I feel like with each song I'm just gonna be more and more proud as we collectively get better. But I really am the most excited for this one for how we've worked on it and kind of brought this one to life. So that's should be coming up. Video stuff is going to be coming up, but yeah, we're gonna really, I think, hone in on what people seem to like and what we like doing. Again, not selling out. I'm just gonna see what works, and a lot more coming. So I really hope people enjoy what we're gonna put out.
Can't wait
And
to
we
see
hope
what
that
else we
everybody
come up
enjoyed
with.
watching you tonight, and you got a bunch of people in the comments. You had 2 huge fans tonight, by the way. Chris and Gene seem to be the 2 bigger fans because I think they're really like Radioheads and stuff like that. So once again, I got you at least 2 fans.
Let's keep them
We'll
going.
take it. We'll take it.
Appreciate it, Chris. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Seriously, thank you again.
All right, Mark. We have a big show tomorrow because it's our season finale.
Yes,
Who's the season finale with, sir?
Sanaya Lutis. She's
where
an
can we find
actress. She's an actress. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not sure about TikTok though. I didn't look. I just know her from Facebook, Instagram. But she was from 3 movies that I had originally seen. One was Vengeance, one was Vengeance 2, and the other one was Roseblood. They were all Friday the 13th fan films. They're actually really good. But she's going to be in a movie called The Death of Snow White, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow.
Perfect.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. So, if you boys don't have anything else to say, I'm gonna say goodnight. What do you think?
I'm done.
All right,
All good.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in tonight to Talking Shit. My name is Brian. That's Mark. That's AJ.
What's up?
We're out of here.
We're
Have a
outta
good
here.
night. See you
night,
tomorrow
everybody.
night.
See you guys.
Bitch, I'm in the